Puppeteer is a headless Chrome browser which allows you to scrape web pages, automate repetitive tasks, or even test the performance of your web app. Today we'll be using Heroku in order to host our Puppeteer program. So the first thing you want to do is create a new repository. So you can do it using GitHub Desktop. So mine is Puppeteer Deploy Tutorial. Then you want to open it in Visual Studio Code or another code editor. Then what we're going to do is create a new file called server.js. We're then gonna open our command line and basically init our project using the command npm init-y. Once finished, we're gonna install Express and Puppeteer. So Puppeteer is of course this headless Chrome browser, while Express is going to allow us to basically create a server in Node.js. So the first thing is to require Express in our Node.js file. Then what we're gonna do is basically create the app instance. We're then gonna create our first route, which is going to be the simplest one, so the simplest path. We're then just going to send a done message. So we want our app to be really simple. It's not like the main focus of today, because the main thing we want to focus on today is the deployment on Heroku. We're then gonna listen on a specific port. So when you go into production mode, you want to make sure you don't hard code your port. So what we're gonna do actually is create a variable port. So as we can see in a few seconds. So here we basically create variable called port. We're going to search on the process env, so basically the environmental variable if there's a port that is set up. And if there is no port set up on the environment variable, then we're probably on a local development. So we're just going to say port 3000 by default. We're then going to create our boat.js file where we're going to store our Puppeteer program. So first thing is to require Puppeteer, which is the basic thing. We're then going to initialize our function, which is asynchronous. So we're going to call it boat. So boat equals to async, then a row. We're then gonna initialize our browser. So there's two main things which are important. Firstly, the headless mode, which has to be on true on deployment mode, and also on the arguments we want no sandbox. This is really important when deploying to Heroku in order to have no error during deployment. We're then gonna create our first page. So wait let's not forget the other wait, because we're on an asynchronous function. So wait browser.new page. We want our Puppeteer program to be really simple. So we're then gonna go to google.com. So it's very simple, as you can see. We're then gonna pass a wait until, so wait until network idle 2. So this basically means that we're gonna wait until the page is fully loaded. And then we're gonna basically close our browser because the program is finished. We just want to do a simple thing in order to focus on the deployment on Heroku, and we're gonna return a done to show that everything is okay and that we went to google.com. We're then going to export our function using module.exports equals to our function name. Then on our server.js file, we're going to require this function using countSpot equals to require, and then the relative path to our file. So we don't need to put the .js at the end. Then we're going to basically say that the response equals to bot. So it will equals to basically done if we do it, if basically the Puppeteer program works. Then you should not forget to put on async. Once this is done, we basically created that get ignore file where we put our node modules so that they are ignored by GitHub. We can then do our commit, so ready for deployment, and publish our repository. So once your repository is pushed to GitHub, you are going to go to dashboard.heroku and create an account if you don't have one yet. Then you're going to create a new app. You can choose whatever name you want as long as it is available. Then you create your app. You're going to go on deploy, click on GitHub. Then you're going to search for your repo name. So mine is Puppeteer tutorial deploy. So then you search, you connect to it. So this is basically gonna connect to your repository. So this is very useful. Then the thing you'll want to do is have this link, which will be on the description of this video. So this is basically a build pack, which you need to include to Heroku if you want to run a Puppeteer on the server. So basically you're just going to add Node.js first and then add another build back, which will be this link. So once this is done, you're just going to say enable automatic deploys. And now, well done. This is finished. Your Puppeteer program is now up and running on Heroku.